It's Billy the Beard of the Sports Prophets, and I'm here to bring you 2 free game breakdowns to close out the holiday season. Now, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Don't be shy. Let us know what you think about these game breakdowns in the comments. If you like our content, please show some support. Smash the like button. Most importantly, turn that notification bell so you're always informed. I'm going to start with a Sunday, December the 24th matchup between the Seahawks and the Titans. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to try to build on that week they had last week. They snuck away against the Eagles. They visit the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. This is going to be played at Nissan Stadium. This kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Now, the Seahawks, are they back on the winning track here? The Seahawks, they just ended a 4-game losing streak last week with that 20-17 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. We had Drew Lock, he passed for 208 yards in his second start of the season, which actually was enough to beat the Eagles. Seahawks are 7-7 on the season. They're third in the NFC West. They will face the Steelers and Cardinals to close out the season. Now, the Titans, they're a team that's very inconsistent. Yes, they did beat the Dolphins. You saw that game. If you did, it was a fluke. Now, the Titans, they had many ups and downs this season. Things do not look well at the moment. They're bottom of the AFC South with a 5-9 record. Difficult start to November. They lost 3 straight games. The last 2 losses, they did come in overtime, so give them that. But, you know, in between that time frame, they beat the Dolphins, one of the top teams record-wise. And the Titans, they did have a 13-3 halftime lead against the Texans before they fell apart and lost that one in overtime, 19-16. So they're not a bad team the way the record shows. When you are looking at some of these trends, we have the Seahawks. They're 8-5 against the spread. They're 4-1 against the spread in the last 5. On the road, 5-2 against the spread. 3-2-1 against the spread after a win. Titans, they're 6-8 against the spread for the season. So, key players to watch, we have Kenneth Walker, 3. He's a RB. He's having a solid season for the Seahawks. He has 176 carries, 720 yards, 7 touchdowns. Walker, the 3rd, he's had his 10th career game with at least 100 yards from scrimmage. When he played the Eagles, he had 86 yards rushing, 26 receiving. So despite being listed as questionable, Pete Carroll says this guy's good to go. Now, injury reports. We have D. Eskridge, Frank Clark, Jamal Adams. They're going to be out for the Seahawks. And like we mentioned, Kenneth Walker, he's questionable. But the Titans, they have a long injury list. Let's start with Jeffrey Simmons, Kyle Phillips, Amani Hooker. Those are some of the names that are going to be missing this game. When you look at the Seahawks, they managed to break that curse in the last game, but they're still working with their back against the wall as far as a playoff berth is considered. They're going into this game as a 3.5-point favorite. They're only 2-5 on the road this season. Seattle, they do rank 3rd in the NFL with 50 road wins since 2013. So if you like intangibles, there's one for you. This is a tough battle. The Seahawks, I think they're going to stay in the playoff contention here, guys. Right now, I'm looking across the board. It's the line's at 3.5. Let's go ahead and buy the hook. Let's get this at BetMGM. It's 3.5. Buy it down to 2.5. Buy the hook. Lock it and clock it. Seattle Seahawks minus 2.5. Buying that full point over at BetMGM. Now, let's take this to a Christmas Day special. Monday, December the 25th. We have a 1 p.m. Eastern Standard kickoff where we have the Los Angeles Raiders playing the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is going to be at GEHA Field, Arrowhead Stadium. Now, the Raiders, they managed to win there 3 years ago, but the numbers, the Chiefs have won 9 of the last 10 against the Raiders, right? The Raiders are coming off an impressive victory. They went from a 0-63 in only 1 week. They lost to Minnesota 3-0. Next week, demolished the Chargers 63-21. They set a franchise record for the most points in a game. 8 different players scored 9 touchdowns in the game. They spread the ball around. Now, the Raiders, they're 3rd in the AFC West, a 6-8 record. They only have 1 road win this season in 6 games. So you have Patrick Mahomes. He's been heating up. He's a little bit of a crybaby, as we saw, but He's heating up. The Chiefs, they ended a 2-game losing streak. They won 27-17 over the Patriots. Not the best team in the league. Now, Patrick Mahomes, he had a 300-yard game. He went for 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 92.7 QB rating. He connected with Rashee Rice on all 9 attempts for a total of 91 receiving yards and a touchie. The Chiefs, they're top in the AFC West, 9-5 record, but they're 4-3 at home on the season. Now, when you're looking at some trends, the Chiefs, 7-6-1 against the spread this season. They're 3-1 in division games. The Raiders, they're 2-4 against the spread. On the road, 3-4-1 as an underdog. So what happened in Week 12, right? We had the AFC West rivals. They played in Week 12. Chiefs won 31-17. Raiders, they did start the game well. They had a 14-0 lead, but they just couldn't hold it. So we had Mahomes. He led the Chiefs. He turned things around, ended with 298 yards, 2 touchdowns. This was Andy Reid's 125th win with the Chiefs. He just passed Hank Stram for the team record. So injury report, we have Michael Mayer, Josh Jacobs, questionable for the Raiders. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jerick McKinnon, Kadarius Toney, questionable for the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they're going to be going into this looking for an 8th consecutive AFC West title. They can do it even if the Broncos tie and lose to the Patriots on Christmas. But listen, that's not an option for Patrick Mahomes, right? He's a winner even though he's a crybaby. But the Chiefs, this star quarterback, he's coming off an impressive performance. I think he's going to pick up the tempo on this grand stage. The Raiders, they're coming off a 63-point show. Yeah, that looks scary, but most time this happens, teams fail the next game. So, the Chiefs, they're going to cool them off. They're going to crush this game. Total right now, spread, it's 10.5. We are going to roll with the Kansas City Chiefs, available -10 actually at Caesars. So lock it and clock it. Kansas City Chiefs -10. Lock it and clock it.